France has deplored the death of Idriss Deby and taken note of the creation of an interim military body, urging a quick return to civilian rule and a peaceful transition. President Emmanuel Macron of France, his office released a statement a while ago saying France has lost a brave friend. He says France expresses its strong attachment to Chad's stability and territorial integrity. Well, joining us now for more on the political implications of his death is African Affairs analyst Lester Wilcox. Thank you so much for speaking to us on the program.
Thank you for having me. It's always my pleasure. Thank you.
Well, what are your thoughts on the impact this could have on the political situation in the country? Barely 24 hours after the announcement of Mr. Deby's re-election, we are met with the shocking news of his death.
It's quite sad. I want to send my condolences to the people of Chad, losing a long-term leader. I think in the last years or so, the only face that has been known in Chadian governance structure is Idriss Deby. He took over from Hussein Hebri in the coup, and since then he has held forth in the in the Central African country called Chad. He has done quite a bit. He has contended with a lot of opposition and enemies, a lot of what I would call insurgency and all whatnot. And it's unfortunate that he has to meet his death in this way. So it's quite shocking that a leader of that magnitude should go in that way. It throws up the frontier open now for a new political squabble. Remember, he has held on to power all these years. I can't, if I might count, I think it's well over 20 years he's held on to power in Chad since taking over from the previous president in a coup that he took over from. So he has been there for well over 20 years, and so there will be a new political squabble right now as to who will replace him. Whatever interim arrangement is happening, maybe outside the constitution, because the constitution of Chad recognize the fact that in his absence, the Speaker of Parliament will take over. So whatever interim arrangement is being made now is also trying to worsen the political gap in the country. As a matter of fact, having just won election and being killed means there's a lot of internal forces that are opposed to him. And it's not really enemy fire that will have killed him, but internal forces that those who has been pained or who has issues to grasp with his continuous stay in power.
Well, the military has actually installed his son to be the interim president, like you rightly mentioned. But what would you say, is the way forward?
Well, maybe he still have a strong support in the military. Himself being a former military personnel, he might have a strong support in the military, and so that's why the military has moved fast to install the son. But of course, that is against constitutionality. It's going to create a whole lot of squabble, because the Speaker of Parliament, as a matter of constitutionality, was supposed to be the next, since they don't have a vice president, which I don't think they do. Deby has run the country as a personal estate, and so anybody installing, so just like what happened in Kabila's Democratic Republic of Congo when he was assassinated, and rather than the Speaker of Parliament becoming the president, they installed his son, Kabila Jr. Also, what's happened in Congo when his son was also installed. Also, what happened in Togo when Nasengbe's son was installed. These are part of stronghold of the military in African politics, undermining democratic structures. Because most of these leaders, they have strong support in the military, in their various military. They've held their military as personal estates. So their allegiance is to these leaders rather than to the country. So that move, for me, is going to create more political squabble, because there's going to certainly be a resistance. It's not a military government, it's still a democratic government. And the son has no democratic structure to assume power. So the people of Chad, it's going to throw them into a more confusion that might need their colonial master, France, maybe to come in and to see how they can mediate it.
Well, all right, France says it is urging a quick return to civilian rule, and even the military has said they've scheduled elections for 18 months from now. We'll just have to wait and see how it all pans out. But thank you so much, Alastair Wilcox, African Affairs Analyst. Thank you for your thoughts.